distinct honor and pleasure to honor someone that has made history and trailblazer in not only the city of Paterson, but in the county of Passaic. Dawn Moody, who I've met about a couple years back. But when you hear the name Dawn Moody, you think about the Moody family. I see many of them here. And the Briggs side, and you see all the things you hear about the Briggs family, but I've never really met Dawn. Right? She lives in the 6th Ward. You see, the family is always out there. Now, one day I was driving down East 26th Street. I waved. They're in the middle of the block. And she almost ripped me out of my car because her garbage wasn't picked up. She wasn't playing around. That's a true story. We exchanged numbers, and we built a relationship since. And now I know the true trailblazer who Dawn is. So Dawn was born and raised in the city of Paterson. She graduated from St. Bernard's in Clifton. She attended Paterson Catholic, which as a bulldog, her kids are proud bulldogs because that's where I really got to see them. But she went on to further her academics at Rutgers University, New Brunswick. She received her master's in science degree from Fairleigh Dickinson University. And following the footsteps of her legacy mother and aunt, she was initiated into the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Councilwoman, I know we got many of them here, right? She's a proud Delta. And that's where she does a lot of her community service work through her sorority. She married the love of her life, Zateen Moody, and she has 3 beautiful children, Kiana, Khadija, and Akil. And that's where I've seen Dawn in action, right? I was proud. When I was young, when I first started teaching at Tech, I saw Kiana playing basketball. And then when I came back, I guess the favorite in the house, right? Because that's the youngest one. And Rodney knows who, because we used to see him, Akil, walking around, and he's not here till I'm sure he's in college, right? But the caring side of the motherhood. She cared about her children. She raised 3 great children. And while making history at the Passaic County Probation Office, Dawn is the first female in the county history to be named chief of the Passaic County Probation, the first African American in the history of the Passaic County Probation Office, where she gets to work every single day to try to get people back on their feet. She's a fighter. Because she's a breast cancer survivor, so we gotta thank God every day for her fight. And like I said, we know who Zateen is, but behind every great man, there's a greater woman. And as a councilman in the 6th Ward, I know who the real boss in that household on East 26th is. Let's give it up for Dawn Moody. And the great Councilwoman Elisa Mims made sure that we put the red on her resolution, so I did not mess up.
Exactly. I'm not going to violate the pact that we made over there to be brief, so I am going to be brief. However, I want to thank my councilman for taking me from behind the scenes. He knows that I do not like to be behind the mic. However, I thank him for selecting me to be his nominee this month for Black History Month. And it's particularly very impactful for me, especially during this month, having been the first African American chief, because I'm very intentional with my actions in the court. I have to be very particular in what I say. However, every day is a struggle to fight to equalize the playing field and for our folks. So I do that not only professionally, The landscape of my department looks way different than it did in 1994. And right now, I pride myself in, I have an officer here today, she can tell you I take everyone under my wing and make sure that they get the support that they need to elevate through the ranks. And I also help all of the probationers that come through me get what they need, because I listen and I hear, and there's a lot of injustices, and I make sure and I'm very intentional in making sure that it's rectified. So I thank you again. I thank the council. I thank my family, my parents. And like the councilman said, you know, I stand on the shoulders of a strong family, the Briggs family. My aunt is here, my cousin is here, St. John Briggs. Also, so I thank them for coming. I thank the Briggs, and I thank the Moody's especially. My husband couldn't be here. He's in California. He's a doctorate program. But I thank Malik and the Moody's for being here. They're perpetual supporters, and they always encourage us. I thank my sorority, because there's so many of them. It's just more than a sorority. They're my friends. They're my sisters, and they are my motivation. I wouldn't even be here either if they did not keep pushing me to step out of my shell. So I thank them. I thank my local mom. I just joined a new organization, and they offer a lot of support and motivation as well. I'm sure it's here. I didn't know till today that I was getting the Dorothy Height Award, and that is so significant because she's a member of my organization, Delta Sigma Theta, and National Council of League of Women, which I just joined under Shirley's.
I know your sorority has something for you. The sorority has.
Thank you, Council, for this opportunity and privilege. We serve this community. Paterson Alumni Chapter is around, and we've been around at this point for 45 years in the city of Paterson. And we just celebrated our 110th Founders Day on this past January. So we are all over the world. So I am Dr. Jayla Eli, the president of the Paterson Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We are proud of our sister, my big sis since I was actually a little girl. So we are proud of her, and we are honored to be here to support her. So Dawn, at this time, we are presenting you with this token and with these flowers while you are here and while you continue to do the work as chief in the city of Paterson, and we thank you for your service.